Okay, let's talk about the 500 calorie diet. This is not on it. It's such a bummer. So you better enjoy it while you're loading. And I'm not on it right now, so don't mind me. Anyway, on the 500 calorie diet, you get 2 servings of bread, 2 servings of fruit, 2 servings of meat, and 2 servings of vegetables. And that's it. It's pretty straightforward. No Doritos, unfortunately. Probably the lamest group is the bread group. Don't get too excited because it's like 3 saltine crackers is 1 serving. But once you're on the protocol, you're going to love it. In fact, I basically just licked my crackers for half an hour and then I ate them soggy. But it worked for me. You can have Melba toast, although Melba toast, it used to be one size and now it comes in like billions of sizes. So I can't tell anymore what a serving is. It's just fooled me. So what you want to make sure is that your 1 bread serving is about 30 to 40 calories. So I would say aim for 35. So if you get like the giant Melba toast, they're like this big, that's too big. But now they have like these mini Melba toasts. You can probably have more than 1 of those. The Grissino sticks are these tiny, skinny Italian breadsticks, and they're pretty tasty, but hard to come by. Someone told me you can get them at World Market. I haven't seen them anywhere else. So good luck with that. Otherwise, then you just get the saltines. And let me tell you, a saltine will never taste so good. Anyway, that's your bread. Let's talk about your fruit. Fruit's pretty straightforward too. You get a medium-sized apple. So it's not the tiny schoolboy size, and it's not those huge giant ones. It's somewhere in between. And if you were to weigh it on a scale, I'd say around 5 ounces is a good size. You get a medium-sized apple or a medium orange, or about 10 strawberries, medium to large size, or half a grapefruit. So those are the 4 that Dr. Simeon put on the protocol. Off protocol, which I don't do off protocol very often, he allowed for, well, he didn't. Let's restate that. Off protocol, meaning what we've tried it and seems to work, is a half a cup of frozen mixed berries, or any berry that's unsweetened and just in its natural form, except for frozen, or a V8 juice, one of those small little cans that they used to have that's just V8 tomato, not fruity mix or anything. That can count as a fruit 1. Okay, that's it for fruit. Let's go on to meat. Meat's probably the one people ask me the most about. And you have quite a few options. You can use a lean chicken breast, a white chicken breast. You can use a lean beef. People say, well, what's a lean beef? I did sirloin steak or a 93% or better lean ground beef. And if I did ground beef, I would cook it and then rinse it in hot water and then measure it into 3 ounces, and that would be my meat serving. I advise that you get a bunch of chicken breasts, put them on the grill with no oil, of course, cook them up, trim the fat and the skin off, cut them into slices, and then weigh them into 3-ounce baggies. And then when I did it, I had a big pile of baggies in the freezer. It looked kind of funky, but then I'd pull some out every once in a while and use those most of the time. So I usually used chicken, and then sometimes I do my beef. There's quite a few options for shellfish. You can do shrimp. You can do lobster, but no butter. You can do tilapia or whitefish, and tuna fish in water, if you can use that. And I think that's it. But make sure you read the packet in case I'm missing some. But you don't want to cook any of those with oil, of course, or oil spray, or I can't believe it's not butter spray. But you can use seasonings. Just make sure they're not with sugar in them, or they're not like a sauce that you marinate them, because they usually have oil and sugar. Just use your seasoning, salt, pepper, garlic, salt, and watch your labels for added modified food starch or potato starch. You don't want to do that. And I think that pretty much covers it. A couple other meat options that aren't on the protocol is 97% fat-free beef jerky original, the one from Costco, which is Alberto brand. 2 ounces can be used as a meat serving. And for beef jerky, that's kind of a lot, and that's a good thing to carry around if you need it a lot. I wouldn't do it very often, but that seems to be okay. And my favorite addition is our Premier Nutrition chocolate protein shake, which is pre-made. I've only seen them at Costco. You'll hear me talk about Costco a lot because I'm a pretty typical suburban person, but I do recycle. Anyway, you're going to want to use those protein shakes as a meat replacement or a meat serving. And not just any protein shake works. People call me and ask me about 500 brands. You can send me a label. I could look at it and tell you it's the closest shake we have found to a meat. And the hardest part is they usually have too much sugar. And what I love about this one, it has a lot of good fiber. So it's kind of got a bonus. The calorie level's correct. The protein level's really high, which is good. So one protein shake is equivalent to one meat. And I love them when I did the protocol. I would blend them up with ice, add a little bit of coffee crystals if I wanted a mocha flavor, or I'd add some berries if I wanted fruit flavor. It was just a good change and pretty filling. So I really like that. So we've gone over fruit, we've gone over bread, we've gone over meat. Vegetable, that's the last one. This one has a lot of questions too, actually, because Dr. Simeon's pretty vague on vegetables. He says 1.5 to 2 cups of vegetables. And he says in the protocol, choose one of the following. And so there's a lot of controversy as to whether you can mix the vegetables or not. I've seen a lot of that on the internet. But of our 100+ clients that we've had through it, we've done it mixed and have not had any problem. We have good weight loss, and scientifically it makes no sense that you couldn't mix them. So I mix them. If you're uncomfortable with that, then don't mix them, but you'll be miserable. A little more miserable anyway than you might otherwise be. So I would mix them and not worry about it. You can make a really good mixed salad. The vegetables, there's quite a few in variety that you can pick from, but I would try your best to stay with what's on the protocol. And then people say, well, how do you know what 2 cups is? Because 2 cups of lettuce is really different than 2 cups of tomatoes. And I think just kind of do your best to estimate what 2 cups would be. That's the one thing, the one area you don't have to be too strict on as far as exact in measurement, like your meats and your fruits. But the vegetables, you have a little bit of leniency in that you can kind of estimate and not worry. But don't, if it's like a huge, huge bowl like this, it's probably too big. Anywho, that's vegetables for you. And your 4 food groups.